We were sitting in the same room here that we are right now, and I was in the recliner, and I have never had any pains, any shortness of breath, or any indication of heart problems other than I do have a history in my family of heart problems. But I was sitting in the chair that day and I told Jeannie, I said, I feel sort of dizzy. And then all of a sudden I was just out. And my son was here and my daughter-in-law and 2 grandkids. So my son called 911 and they asked him to lay me flat and was there on the floor, and was there anybody here that knew CPR? And my daughter-in-law, which is a teacher over in Hutto, and she was also a scout leader, knows CPR, so she started immediately. And that was one of the key things that probably makes me here today, is the time that she spent working on me before the EMS arrived.
We had Bobby out on the floor right here in front of where we're sitting, and they came in and it looked like he was surrounded with them, and they just started working immediately, and they were very quiet and just hard at work, and they seemed like, I don't know really how long it took for them to get here. I just know that it seemed like an eternity when we were waiting, but it wasn't very long. They did a great job of getting here in a hurry. One of the technicians said, we're going to take him to Seton. And I said, no, I don't want to go to Seton. So we use Scott & White. Our insurance is with Scott & White, and we've always gone to Scott & White, and I prefer that he be taken there. And he said, well, Seton is just a lot closer. And I said, not that much. And it's not but a mile or 2. And I said, I want him to go to Scott & White. When we got there, we really didn't see Bobby until after he had already had the surgery. But they were very informative as far as telling us that they were taking care of him, but they wouldn't let us see him. When we actually went in to see him for the first time that Saturday night, they had already started the cooling process, and they had him completely paralyzed. They had him sedated and had pain medication going in. I think he had 17 bags of fluid of something going into his body at one time. And he was just, his body was rigid and cold. And they had a vest on his chest and covering both the upper part and lower part of his legs, and had a little machine at the end of the bed, and it was just pumping ice water over his body, and they were watching it and trying to get it down to 93 degrees.
It's been a very touching, emotional experience to think that I was basically dead, and I'm here today to tell people that there is hope. If you have a heart problem, I have my family, my 8 grandkids, my children, and many friends, and I'm alive. And I don't have any side effects. I'm very normal.
I had thought about retiring, and when Bobby had this attack, I thought, I'm going to retire because I'm going to stay home. You don't know, it made you kind of wake up and know how short life can be, and none of us know how much time we have left. So I decided to stay home and be together.
Our family's always been close, but this has made our kids and Jeannie and I all even closer. They call me every day, Daddy, how you doing? You know, hey, I'm still here. I've been out walking. What are you doing? You know, and they come over and walk with me. We go down to the gym and work out together. And my little grandkids, we have 8 grandkids, ages from 5 to 18, and they love to hug Papa. And so I'm glad you're here, Papa.